On a little bit more of a serious note in that direction, for myself, one of the appeals of the show has always been the real stories of human triumph, etc. Just this week, you had Eric Compton on there, which was a pretty intense interview. But even guys like John, what was it, Jim McLaren, and I remember that interview with Sheldon Kennedy and how he was molested and all that. Those kinds of stories, really, when they're executed and done by Jim, they're done extremely well. And I think that was kind of, for myself, the real appeal. I mean, the fun, the joking, all the really cool stuff and hilarious banter and takes. But nothing is like when he gets into somebody's mind and they're willing to let it out and articulate to us what has happened to them. And so many of those stories are relatable to each of us in one way or another. And how do you feel being a part of that?
Well, that's the thing, and I think those are the interviews that I'm most proud of, especially if it was an interview that wasn't like it didn't like blow up nationally. It was maybe something that we found kind of off the beaten path that we put on, and then all of a sudden it became a big deal. Then you saw him going on all these shows, and you saw all the news sources pick up on it. Like I remember, I don't know, about 8 years ago, this kid named Jake Porter. He was a special needs kid who was put into the end of a basketball game by his coach. He hadn't played all year, but he was put in at the end, and he hit a couple of 3-pointers. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And when we put on the coach, and at that point, like I said, it really wasn't a story that had picked up nationally yet, and the coach did such a good job of telling the story. I remember that it just sent vibrations through the country, and then all of a sudden everybody was doing it. ESPN did this big feature. So
I remember.
It's kind of stuff like that kind of makes you proud. Like, hey, we kind of made a difference here. We brought out a great story, and now everyone's talking about it. But I know we have many examples of that. That Compton interview on Tuesday, the nationwide tour came to us and said, look, this is a great story. Check this article out. I think you guys will really like it. Jim will love it. And they were right. Eric Compton, a double heart transplant recipient.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's tough to think of even going through life and doing normal things, let alone competing on a golf course for a living. It's pretty crazy.
Right. Once again, we're joined by Jason Stewart, Jay Stu from The Jungle, from the Jim Rome Show. Jason, I got a couple of quick questions that I got to wrap this puppy up. I could stay talking to you the whole hour. It'd be a lot of fun. But I got to get up to our Tesla interview and stuff. But what's going on with your movie and TV career, man?
I'm open for offers. Just holler out at my manager Stan Brooks, and I will work for you. I'm very true to my craft, and I will accept all offers. But hey, thanks for asking. It's been a couple of years now, I guess, man. It's been a little bit of a dry spell, so I need to get back on TV. Luckily enough, the notoriety that I've gained on this show has gotten me a few acting gigs that actually pay pretty good, I must say. And so I'm very proud of that, too. I'm not a trained actor. I had never done any acting before, and then someone thought to put me on TV once, and it just kind of blew up. So
nice.
It's very cool, and I'm looking for work. So thanks for bringing it up.
Hey, New Mexico's a big hub for Hollywood, filmmaking and stuff like that. Maybe if anybody's listening, bring Jay Stu in. I got to tell you that I watched again, and I hadn't seen it in several years on YouTube. I watched the clip when you were on Blind Date. Dude, that was so funny, man. That was hilarious. So I invite anybody to check that out. Couple of quick questions, man. This is a loaded one. Will Jim ever come back to Albuquerque? And if it takes me getting the XR4 Ti wrapped around, and I'm talking about your faces as leverage to bring him back here, I'll do it, man. You drop the word, you let us know. But will he ever do the tours again? And do you think maybe he might even consider coming back through here again?
I hear Jim off air say all the time that maybe we should go back to doing the tour stops, man. And those were such great fun for all of us. And it was incredible to show up to amphitheaters and arenas to 15, 20,000 people. But I'm not sure it'll ever be like that. I'm not sure if we'll ever put on those massive shows again. But Jim has been doing these station visits here and there where he shows up and does appearances and like House of Blues that you went to. I know in Denver where there were a couple hundred people So I would obviously never say never. Albuquerque has been a devout market of ours for a long time. So it all comes down to gym's availability. It all comes down to just kind of our people working with your people. I don't know all the factors that go into that, but I would definitely say that I would never say we're definitely doing it for sure, but I can't say no. I mean, why would we turn down Albuquerque? It's a devout market of ours.
Right. I will speak unequivocally for everybody in this city that we love you guys very, very much, and we hope one day to see you guys back in Albuquerque. Lastly, Jay Stu, I got to ask you, I got the tat of Jim, and I know that was kind of crazy, but a band made a song of you. That's cool. 3-day weekend, man. Made Mr. Automatic. Jay Stu, how did it feel to have somebody make a song about you? And a good one, too, at that.
You know what, it was, and I think that's what kind of made it cool, was that not only was it a song by me, in which it seems like there's been 20 songs now made about me, but the first one, the original one, was actually a cool little ditty, wasn't it? It kind of sounded like, I don't know. It was just a cool tune that was made in the early 2000s. They sent us the CD. They're like, take a look at this. We put some effort into it in the production studio, and I remember the second we listened to it, we're like, oh, my God, this is incredible. And I think the next day we're like, Jim, you got to play this on the air. And it took up the entire 3 hours of content. Like, people were emailing and calling in and saying, I can't believe it. What a great song. And it just blew up. And it was about me. So that was the craziest part. But, yeah, it was cool. 3-day weekend will forever be in my heart for doing that.
Sweet. Well, Jason, I don't know what else to say. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure, a lot of fun to have you on the program. Thank you very, very much for all that you've done for 610 AM, the sports animal out here in Albuquerque, and in particular for me. You guys have just you've always been, it's like brothers, man. I really, really love it. I do not mind ever pushing the Clone Nation. I love it. I love you guys, and we got to do this again. I have several more questions that I'd love to talk to you about someday, but love to get you, KB, some of the other clones. Thank you. I don't know what else to say, but thank you very much, and have a great, great 4th of July weekend, and give my love to all the Jungle Brotherhood out there, and to Jim especially.
I will, dude, and I know you got to go, but I want to thank you dearly for having me on, and thank you for being a devout clone, man. We wouldn't be the show we are today without people like you, and I really appreciate that.
All right, man. Take care, brother. Have a great weekend once again, G.
All right, Mike. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Mexico's #1 rated sports station.
Are you kidding me?
Anything else is just a big old pile of number 2.
That was a reason for me to hit you with this.
Damn.
What?
Kicking ass and taking names. We all have our responsibilities. Arbitron rated #1 for sports. 610, the sports animal.
All right, in honor of Mr. Jason Stewart, let's go ahead and do 3-day weekend. Mr. Automatic, freaking Jay Stu.
Mr. Automatic is incredible.
You heard about him on the radio. Been blessed to see him on the TV screen. Going down, murder at the Presidio. Holy moly, he's the next big thing. So what did Jake do? Got busted with dudes. Watching porn in the middle of his dorm room. It's all behind him. Now you can find him. Rolling down the red carpet with some diamonds. Breaking shade shoes, bulletin clad. The best contestant with fine dates ever had. Charismatic, Mr. Automatic. Coming in quicker to weapon that traffic. You always say that. On the radio, been blessed to see him on the TV screen. Going Jason could have saved on that ring. Helped you convince Ashley that she really could sing. You make me wanna la 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 la. You make me wanna breathe. Breaking Jason, Fullerton flag. Best contestant the fine days ever had. Charismatic, Mr. Automatic. Coming in the first weapon that's crafted. Breaking Jason, Fullerton flag. Best contestant the fine days ever had. Charismatic, Mr. Automatic. Coming in the first weapon that's crafted. Yeah, Sally Berry, what you thought of Jason? She said, I love a man with moles all over his head. Yeah, yeah, Jason's a maniac, a freaking maniac. Jason's a maniac, a freaking maniac. Jason's a maniac, a freaking maniac. The face of Hollywood's forever gonna change real soon.
Say it again, the Jungles Let It Be.
You're listening to the 0 Hour Squared radio show on 610, the sports animal.
That's right. 0 Hour Square Radio Show starring me, Mike Trujillo, co-starring Mr. Mike Vitale. Tomorrow night at the Hard Rock Casino. None other than Tesla will be here tomorrow night. I've got a great interview right now by none other than Jeff Keith, lead vocalist of the band Tesla.
Doing great, Mike. I'll tell you what's going on. Tesla's still making music and playing music, and we're going to be heading your way, I think, on July 2nd.
Yeah, actually, it'll be the 3rd, and it's going to be at the Hard Rock Casino. So that Saturday night, man, what better way to spend Saturday night than with Tesla, man? Looking forward to that. So that's actually tomorrow night. So we're real excited to that. So what's this tour entail so far, and what's going on with Tesla these days?
Well, we got a new record getting ready to come out July 12th. It's called Twisted Wires. It's like a bunch of acoustic songs that we recorded with 6 of them with Tommy Steele before he left the band in 2005, and then we re-recorded some that either weren't written when Five Man Acoustical Jam first came out, or we wrote a couple new songs, Second Street, Better Off Without You, and so it's from all different eras. That's why we call it Twisted Wires, but just keeping busy, still making music, and still going out there and playing shows, enjoying it.
Nice. Yeah, I caught you guys last year. You were opening up for the Scorpions, and you guys were in support of Forevermore. Tell us how that tour went, and that album. What do you think? What are the plans for the above and beyond this other recording you got? But what about another studio album, a full-length studio album like Forevermore? What are the plans for that?
We've already started here a while back. We're writing for a new studio record, and like I said, the Twisted Wires was something that we already had acoustically and already had under our belt and stuff. But yeah, we're definitely moving forward for a studio record and looking forward to it. And we really enjoyed playing the arenas once again. You know, after when Forevermore was released, to have the opportunity to go out with the Scorpions was killer. So, and we still play with them periodically, and we're just having, like I said, we're having fun making music. Looking forward to making another record, and it is a lot of work. So there's a lot of work involved with making a record. So it's going to be a little while before it comes out. Probably the first of next year.
Awesome. Now you guys are celebrating almost a little over 30 years. Am I correct in that?
Well, we've been making records for 25 years, and the acoustic record is 20-year anniversary. That's kind of why we're doing the Twisted Wires thing with the acoustic. It's been 20 years since we came out with the acoustic record, but we've been making records for 25 years, and I've been in the band for 28 years.
Wow.
Going all the way back to the club days. So we've almost reset the 30-year mark.
So 4 out of the 5 original members are pretty much what's left in the band now.
Correct.
What has this whole ride been like for you guys, Jeff?